Hello, my beautiful people, and welcome back to This Week in Animation, the show where we report all this week's biggest animation news. We're doing this on a Thursday instead of a Wednesday because stuff got a little crazy on Wednesday, and I just now got around to recording. So, with all of that said, I'd say it's about time that we go ahead and get things started with the news. So, first of all, first off, we have more Despicable Me 4 news. I'm sure everyone by now is aware of how it is currently dominating the box office. It and Inside Out 2 are currently neck and neck with the highest grossing films of the year. However, the director of Despicable Me 4 has made yet another comment on the aging of the characters. You might remember how last week he specifically stated that they will never do that. Well, this time around, he said that he's open to the idea, which, dude, make up your mind. Like, I mean, you can't have it both ways. Like, you either age the characters or you don't. I mean, come on, man. Come on. I mean, regardless, the Despicable Me franchise seems to show no sign of stopping, especially with the success of Despicable Me 4. So, whether we get more stuff, whether it be more shorts, Minions 3, Despicable Me 5, or something else, we're definitely going to be getting more Despicable Me movies in the future. Speaking of more of stuff, Crazy Frog made an unexpected comeback during a promo for, of all movies, Beverly Hills Cop Axel F. Yes, there was an official music video for Crazy Frog to promote the new Beverly Hills Cop. So that is an interesting mashup of IPs that probably have nothing to do with each other. I mean, we all remember Crazy Frog, but it's a little weird to have him be in Beverly Hills Cop of all things. It's kind of like having it's kind of like having Gummy Bear in Platoon, you know? But either way, Crazy Frog is back. Moving right along, we got some updates on when to expect Harley Quinn Season 5. Now, last week, we watched the trailer for the Harley Quinn spin-off series, Kite Man Hell Yeah, but the original series is still going to be up and going this year, with Season 5 reportedly getting a release date. Hold on, it says it here somewhere. Getting a release date sometime before the end of the year. So, sometime at the end of this year, we're going to be getting Harley Quinn Season 5. And, this show just keeps getting dumber and funnier and sillier. And I'm all for the wackier, sillier side of the DC Universe. I explained why I think Harley Quinn works at the show in the last episode, but it really is something special that I'm glad that we keep getting more seasons of it, but I hope it doesn't become like crap because like they really are starting. Well, they're starting to get into some flanderization of some certain characters, but hopefully the core of the show, which is the relationship between Harley and Ivy, is still really strong. Okay, so Witches Night Out, the classic animated Halloween special, or more of a cult classic, will be getting a brand new DVD release. And but it's not just Witches Night Out. It is a double feature DVD release with another TV special made by the same people called The Gift of Winter. So two contrasting little 70s TV specials coming together. So yeah, if you guys are interested in owning either of those two specials, they're coming out. Alrighty, so we got a little bit of an update on Eyes of Wakanda, and basically, we know that it's going to be computer animated, and we also know that there is going to be some heavy connections with the MCU. As in, this looks to be the only animated MCU series, not counting I Am Groot because it's a series of shorts, that will be taking place in the main MCU timeline, and it won't be like an alternate universe like What If or Spider Man or X-Men 97. So that's a bit of an update on Eyes of Wakanda. So Anime Expo was this week, and so we had like a bunch of different anime updates, and you're going to be seeing a lot of anime trailers because like just looking here, you can see there's a bunch of YouTube links. So we're gonna be watching a lot of trailers. But yeah, so anime inspired Infinxwem, I cannot pronounce that, series to showcase Cerebine animation talent. So brand new anime inspired series. It's gonna have 10 seasons of 13 episode arcs. Dear God, that's about a decade's worth of content, or maybe 4 years if you're Netflix. We also have some more indie updates right over here. We have the Animation Showcase launched Best of Annecy Shorts Collection, which appears to be an online collection of various different Annecy shorts from the Annecy Film Festival. And it says here that these shorts include Beautiful Men by Nicholas Clepens, The Car That Came Back from the Sea by Jawada Kowalski, Hello Summer by Martin Samantha and Veronica Zakharova, Maybe Elephants by Tori Cove, Percebes by Alexandra Ramirez and Laura Gonkovez, and Yuck by Lois Espuke. So yeah, the Annecy short collection is now available, or will be available, online soon enough. Guilty Gear anime sets main cast and synopsis with a teaser debut. So the cast for this anime will feature Isaiah Miyazaki, Joji Nikita, Yu Ishiwaki, and there's a little bit of a teaser right here, which I'm sure we'll be reacting to in a bit. I don't know, I can't remember. Oh, the web page decided to relaunch itself. This is fun. And okay, Si Hyuk becomes the first Belgian American creative executive in Japan's anime industry. So there's that. That's a little update there. I don't really have much of a take on these. I don't know who this person is. I don't know what this is. But I do have a take on this because this is one of the bigger pieces of news that was revealed. And that is that Paramount has officially merged with Skydance. So Paramount Global and Skydance Media have officially decided to do a merger, and a merger is going to be on the way. The key points being Paramount Global agreed to merge with Skydance, ending an era of control by the Redstone family of the storied movie studio and CBS broadcast network. The agreement capped off months of negotiations with various twists and turns. Skydance founder David Ellison, son of Oracle founder and billionaire Larry Ellison, will be at the helm of a major Hollywood studio. So, for months, there have been conversations about Paramount being merged with a different studio because Paramount hasn't been doing really good in the last few years, and they have been in desperate need of another studio to come in and help them out. And for a long time, Skydance was that studio. However, there were some other talks with some other different studios, most notably Sony and even Warner Brothers for a little bit. Which, if Warner Brothers was to merge with Paramount, then that would just lead with nothing but disasters. But the deal has been set, and they will officially be merging with Skydance. Now, something interesting about this merger is that they had mentioned that, I don't know if this article in particular mentions it, but they have been there have been some talks to merge different divisions of both Skydance and Paramount into one. Most notably, there have been talks to merge Skydance Animation with Nickelodeon, which would put John Lasseter in charge of Nickelodeon, which I don't think anybody wants that because, well, first of all, John Lasseter is a creep and everybody knows that. But second of all, having the person who was in charge of like the only movie the Skydance Animation made, and that movie ended up being a flop, and have him being in charge of Nickelodeon, the prominent children's entertainment company that's been around for over 45 years. Like, I mean, Nickelodeon hasn't been doing the hottest either lately, but and they're trying to pick themselves up again. They're doing a little bit better than they have been lately, and I feel like if John Lasseter would come in and take care of Nickelodeon, that would just like plummet it down. But either way, the future of Paramount seems to be very up in the air because this is far for the first time that what was once a major motion picture studio ended up getting bought out by a different company. In fact, it happened with MGM when Ted Turner bought MGM, and then Ted Turner sold MGM back. But as a result, Ted Turner ended up keeping all of MGM's back catalog, and now MGM is owned by Amazon, and of course, Disney bought 20th Century Fox, and even way back in the day, I forget who, but somebody bought RKO, which resulted in the studio shutting down. But now Skydance has bought Paramount, and I don't know exactly what this will mean for the future of Paramount. Maybe Paramount will be like demolished as like not demolished, like demoted as one of the major studios and resorted to like a smaller studio, kind of like what MGM is now, or they will just be like completely destroyed by Skydance and will become the next RKO. So will Paramount become the next MGM or the next RKO? I don't know. Or maybe they'll become the next 20th Century Fox, where they still exist and they're still very prominent. They're just not a major studio anymore because they're owned by one. Who knows? But that's the future of Paramount. Something like that. I just hope that this doesn't result in a bunch of more layoffs because like as mergers happen, like I mean we know that there's going to be a bunch of layoffs happening. That always happens with mergers. I just don't. I just hope that this doesn't result in say like I don't know more Paramount Plus originals being taken away or like the entire service shutting down and they change the title to Mount or something. I, it just doesn't seem right. Okay, moving moving on to anime adaptation world. Doug Liman and Tom Cruise are still talking about doing an Edge of Tomorrow sequel. So for those of you who don't remember, in 2013, Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt starred in an anime adaptation of Edge of Tomorrow, which have also been known as Live Die Repeat. And ever since then, there have been constant talks about making a sequel to the movie. And this Hollywood Reporter article says that Doug Liman and Tom Cruise are still talking about it. So over 10 years later, we still don't know if a sequel to Edge of Tomorrow will happen. Maybe Tom Cruise has just been too busy, or maybe Doug Liman's been too busy, or Emily Blunt's been too busy. We don't know. Or maybe the studio's just not interested in making a sequel. Either way, the people that were responsible for making the movie are talking about it, but maybe it'll happen. Or maybe the interest was died down once Alita Battle Angel came out and they're not interested anymore after that kind of underperformed. Although anime adaptations have been getting a bit of a comeback recently in the public eye, with One Piece doing pretty well. So who knows? Who knows? Okay, so we got a bit of an update on Spider-Man Noir. Basically, Nicolas Cage has given us an update saying that the show, which will premiere on Amazon Prime, will be an 8-episode series. So, for those of you unaware, Spider-Man Noir will feature Nicolas Cage providing the live-action series where Nicolas Cage plays the character that he played in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Not Across the Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse. And it has not been confirmed if this is the same Spider Noir or if it is a different Spider Noir entirely that just so happens to be played by Nicolas Cage. Because that does happen in comic book adaptations, especially with legacy ones. In fact, we are just about to see that with Hugh Jackman playing a different version of Wolverine than the one he usually does. But now we know that it's going to be an 8-episode series, which is more than the typical Marvel Disney Plus show, but less than the Netflix Marvel shows. So, right in the middle. So, we don't know if this is going to be enough for the show. But then again, Amazon's other superhero shows, The Boys and Invincible, seem to be doing pretty well with the 8-episode seasons. So, we're just going to have to wait and see. But yeah, are you guys looking forward to Spider-Man Noir? And are you guys looking forward to Nicolas Cage playing the character in live action? And why do I have the feeling that the answer is probably yes? Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the show. I think it's going to be a very fun time. But okay. Anyway, moving right along, we got some posters for the 25th anniversary of SpongeBob SquarePants. Yes, the show has officially turned 25 years old. Now, technically, it had its 25th anniversary of the sneak preview in May, but the show itself celebrated its 25th in July. And rather than releasing a big TV special, they just released a bunch of merchandise and promotional material, along with having SpongeBob and Patrick host the Kids' Choice Awards, which is, I believe, the very first time they've had fictional characters host. And right over here, we have some promotional pieces of art to celebrate the 25th anniversary. As we can see, we have the entire main cast of the show jellyfishing. Well, and the jellyfish make the 25. And we have SpongeBob blowing a big old 25 bubble with the entire main cast. And I like how it actually represents the modern art style of the show because a lot of the because like the past 10 years the promotional art that SpongeBob's been using did not necessarily represent the show itself. This art definitely does. Like it really does look like a season 13 or 14 episode of SpongeBob. And you could take that as a good thing or a bad thing, depending on how you feel about the recent seasons. But I still like them. They're they're definitely more hit or miss now, but I think the hits really do hit. And I like how season 14 is not as nostalgia heavy as the previous season was, because one of the neat things about seasons 9 to 12, in my opinion, is that you had fans working on the show for the first time. And so naturally, the fans wanted to make sequel episodes to episodes they liked as kids. But once the staff got split up to work on those spin offs, suddenly, oh, let's just phone in. Let's just like completely focus in on the stuff that worked in the previous seasons and doing like nothing but reference episodes and sequel episodes. And that's pretty much all of like season 12 and 13. But for season 14, I'm glad that they're focusing more in on original stories with the characters they already have, and still being fun and being wacky with the wonderful new animation style they got going for them. But yeah, I still really like SpongeBob, and I'm glad to see new episodes when they pop up. But those are just my thoughts. What do you guys think? Okay, so The Boy and the Heron is officially now on 4K and Blu-ray. The by G Kids. I really like this movie. It was great to see a hand-drawn animated film in theaters again that wasn't based off a TV show, and it was an absolute beauty to the eyes in terms of the animation. So I'm sure that the 4K will look just as beautiful, and it will look just as beautiful on my shelf. So that's definitely going to be a fun time. It is currently retailing at $35.99, although I'm sure the Blu-ray will be cheaper. And if you're a heathen, you can get the DVD. I don't know why you would get the DVD in 2024, but you can get the DVD. And yeah, The Boy and the Heron is now out on physical media. So, Comic-Con will be coming up in the next couple of weeks. So, Paramount Animation has officially announced that Transformers 1 will have a prominent at will be prominent at San Diego Comic-Con. So, if you guys are looking forward to that movie and whatever will be coming from it, then it will have a presence at Comic-Con. You'll be getting updates. I don't know how I feel about this movie. Like, I really like the art style. I really like how we finally have a Transformers movie that is about the Transformers. Like, we haven't had one of those since the original one from the 80s. But I think what really breaks this movie for me is the comedy. Because it shouldn't really be a comedy. And it's not even funny, to be honest. Like, if you're going to be a funny Transformers, be funny. I don't know. Maybe if this was clearly aimed at a more younger audience, I'd be more willing. But with this art style, with these characters, you expect a more serious tone and story, but they're getting into wacky shenanigans. Okay. But, hopefully the film will prove me wrong. I also don't like that they're using celebrity voice actors that just make no sense for these characters. It is especially weird when you realize that the live action movies got the original voice actors from the cartoon. Like, they got Peter Cullen to do Optimus Prime. And I don't think they got Frank Welker to do Megatron, but come on, he's Frank Welker. Everybody knows who Frank Welker is. He's like the voice actor, you know? Although the movies did get Tom Kenny, and I might have like was slightly being sarcastic on Frank Welker, but I'm pretty sure everyone knows who Tom Kenny is because everybody knows he's the voice of SpongeBob. So like, I don't know, get Tom Kenny to do Bumblebee. But hey, that's my take. All right, more Spider-Man Noir updates. Uh, Robbie Robertson will be in the show and will be portrayed by Lamore Morris. Does this article have a picture of Robbie Robertson? No, it does not. But he will be a part of the show alongside Nicolas Cage. And oh, apparently it's also going to be on MGM Plus. Interesting, interesting. It's kind of funny how MGM also has a streaming service, even though they're owned by Amazon. I don't know, I just find that funny. I mean, MGM, you don't really have a back catalog to speak of, like before the 80s. I mean, they do now since when they bought United Artists and Orion Pictures, but when they got bought out by Ted Turner and Ted Turner sold it back, like everything before 1986, like that went to Ted. Like, stuff like Wizard of Oz and Casablanca, like that's all Warner Brothers now. Uh, but yeah, Spider-Man Noir cast, it's coming. All right, small little update on X-Men 97. Matthew Chauny will be a new writer for season 3 of the show. I've yet to watch X-Men 97. I know everybody has been talking about how good of a show it is, and I am like so embarrassingly behind on the MCU. Like there's just been so much crap released, and crap in both meanings of the word. Like I'm pretty caught up on the movies. It's just the TV shows that I need to get caught up on. Like I haven't even finished Secret Invasion. So everything like from that show onwards, it's just like I haven't gotten around to finishing. I haven't even gotten around to watching a single episode of X-Men 97 or What If season 2. It's it's a lot. It's just so much content. And thankfully they've been slowing down this year. Like they've only released so far all they've released was X-Men 97 and Echo, and all they're going to release for the rest of the year is Deadpool and Wolverine and Agatha all along. Thank you. Thank you so much. But yeah, that's an update for X-Men 97, and this is probably the big news that a lot of people have been talking about. This was revealed just a couple days ago. Shrek 5 is officially happening at DreamWorks, and it does have an official release date for July 2026. We're finally getting Shrek 5, ladies and gentlemen, after a 16-year gap between Shrek Forever After and Shrek 5. The biggest gap in the franchise's history. This is huge news. Now, I'm pretty sure everybody has been wanting Shrek 5, but there hasn't been that huge of a demand since Puss in Boots 2 came out. Like when Puss in Boots The Last Wish came out, everybody was just amazed by the storytelling and the animation, and it made people want to see Shrek 5 because of how well Puss in Boots The Last Wish was handled. How after an 11-year gap in the franchise, they managed to make easily probably the second best movie in the Shrek franchise, because Shrek 2 is still the best, I'll be honest. So if Shrek 5 can have that animation style and give us that great story, along with having that signature Shrek edge to it, then I'm definitely looking forward to that. On top of the fact that they're also making a Donkey spinoff that currently doesn't have a release date. Now, we don't know if the Donkey spinoff will come out before Shrek 5 or after Shrek 5. That will be waiting. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm very much looking forward to the future of the Shrek franchise. Anyways, moving right along, we got some brand new Funko Pops for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse that should be available pretty soon. We have Miles G. Morales. Miles right over here, also known as the Miles at the end of the movie, the Prowler Miles. And we also have Spider-Punk, Spider-Man 2029 with the evil red eyes, and Mayday Parker. These are some really cool looking pops, and yeah, maybe we'll add them to the collection, maybe we won't. And our final piece of news is a bit of an update on the Wallace and Gromit movie, and in particular, an update from Nick Park on the long awaited return of the Penguin. And basically, he said, actually, basically, so Wallace and Gromit are. So basically, Nick Park gave us a bit of an update on whether the Penguin would come back, and he said yes, he's very much intrigued about it, and it's basically what the interview is. I'm very much looking forward to the return of Wallace and Gromit. It has been way too long since we've seen them. I think their last short was in like 2009. Shaun the Sheep has definitely been have more of a prominence in the last few years, but hey, we're getting our dynamic duo back, and I'm sure that this new film coming to Netflix will be a great Wallace and Gromit feature film. So it's the next day. Yeah, I had some technical difficulties while trying to film this initially, and I also ran into some personal issues, but I just now got around to shooting the trailer bit, so let's just go on ahead and start things off with the trailers. And for our first trailer, we have a really short one, which is nice because we have a grand total of 10 trailers to react to today. The first trailer is actually for Batman Ninja versus Yakuza League. It is a 30-second teaser trailer, so let's just jump right into it. Oh. Oh. Green. Okay. 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 So that was the trailer for Batman Ninja versus Yakuza League. It definitely looks very promising. Now, I did not actually watch the original Batman Ninja. I have not seen it yet, but I always thought that it looked very interesting. And this teaser for the sequel also looks really interesting. I mean, for Christ's sake, look at Aquaman. Oh my god, that is beautiful. And we also saw Green Lantern. Uh, I I can't tell which Green Lantern this is supposed to be, or maybe it's a brand new Green Lantern created specifically for this movie. But either way, she looks really good, and the overall animation looks very well done and very promising. And yeah, let me know if you guys are looking forward to Batman Ninja versus Yukaza League. Moving right along to trailer number 2, we have a bunch of anime trailers to react outside of Batman Ninja, but we also have tons of ones from Crunchyroll and Viz and tons of others because Anime Expo was this week. So we got a lot of anime crap. Starting things off with Witch Hat a Leader. Oh, the restarted again. Keeps on restarting. Animation looks pretty good. Oh. Mm. Oh, well, you look at that. Okay. Oh, there's more. Okay, so that was the trailer for Witch Hat Alear, a brand new anime coming to Crunchyroll in 2025. Uh, I really like how this trailer has absolutely zero dialogue, and visually it looks very stunning. And it is definitely a trailer that has the visuals do most of the storytelling, like especially with this shot. This is probably my favorite shot in the trailer. It definitely looks to be about a girl finding this magical hat, but either way, there's not a whole lot to go off of with this trailer, so we're just gonna have to wait for the show to come out to really form an opinion, or for more trailers to come out. One thing I really want to know is the show going to be without any dialogue whatsoever, or will or was this trailer just a stylistic choice? Because if they decide to go the no dialogue route with the show, you there it would be perfect because you wouldn't have to go through the trouble of trying to dub it. But either way, really cool looking trailer. Moving right along, we have the official teaser trailer for the second season of Solo Leveling, also released by Crunchyroll. Let's just jump right into it. Solo Leveling Season 2. Okay. 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 So that was the trailer for Solo Leveling Season 2. The teaser trailer, actually. Now, I have not seen Solo Leveling Season 1, but from what they have showcased within this teaser, I'm very impressed, and it got me a little intrigued to seek out the first season to see if that's any good. Because, again, visually, it's just stunning. I really like this bit with the polar bear. That looked like that. Oh my god! Like it just had some amazing action sequences, some amazing shots of animation. Like I have no idea what this is about, but it's definitely gotten me intrigued, and I'm interested in probably checking out this show sometime in the future. Moving on to our next trailer, we have not an anime, but in a foreign film called Gracie and Pedro Mission Impossible, which should be in UK cinemas on August 9th. So let's go ahead and check out this trailer. Oh. 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 There we go. What the? Jesus Christ. Why does it sound like that? How did they get Danny Trejo? Brooke Shields? Okay, so that was the trailer for Gracie and Pedro Mission Impossible. Yeah, this just looks like any generic, boring kids movie. Nothing really special about this trailer whatsoever. The animation, it's it's bad. It's not good. The humor is very cringe. It is a very generic, tired story about two pets trying to get back to their owner. It's basically homeward bound again. But like it also it's a very cheap looking movie, but somehow they managed to put all of their money into getting names like Danny Trejo in the film and Brooke Shields because like that's the thing. You'll find like these very cheap looking animated children's movies and they obviously did not put a lot of money into the animation because they put all their money on the celebrity voice cast. But yeah, it I'm I'm I guess kids will like it, but it looks like I've already forgotten about it and I just watched this trailer. Okay, moving right along to our next trailer. We actually have the fourth trailer for Bleach Thousand Year Blood War Part 3 The Conflict. Because this is Bleach stuff from Viz Media. Let's just go ahead and let's go ahead and watch this. Nice. Okay. Okay. So, that was the trailer for part 3 of Bleach the Thousand Year Blood War. That looked really cool. It definitely looked like a very fun season of anime. I have not seen Thousand Year Blood War or really any Bleach media. There's a lot of anime I haven't seen. There's probably more anime I haven't seen than the ones I've seen, and I can also see in the recommended videos that there's a Bleach game that was announced that got an announcement trailer, new Bleach game for PS5. Uh, I don't think I included that trailer in the other 10, but oh well. But yeah, it definitely looked like a very enjoyable, very action-packed anime. It definitely had a lot of cool bits of animation, especially this black and white and red bit. That looks really great, and essentially does a lot of fun, unique things with colors. Like I'm trying to get this shot right here. This bit. Oh my god, that is cool. That really stuck out to me, and just overall the colors and the animation displayed in this trailer were just absolutely phenomenal. And I feel like would probably be one of those animes where you can watch it on mute and you can still enjoy it. Because, like, just look at this. Look at this. This is fantastic. Like, oh my god, this is truly phenomenal looking animation, some fantastic colors, and I'm sure that the rest of the series has just as beautiful animation and action scenes and colors, and definitely looks like the first two seasons might be worth a watch because of that. Let me know if they are in the comments. Moving right along to trailer number 6, we're getting to the second half. We got another third season to an anime I haven't seen, Fire Force. The third season to Fire Force, so let's go ahead and check that out right now. So they're just like magical firefighters, basically. Oh, the final season. Okay, and so that was the trailer for the final season of Fire Force, and I no, I didn't know what I would be expecting going into this, but I don't think I was really expecting magical firefighters, to be honest. But hey, it looks cool, looks entertaining. It definitely had some. Nothing really stuck out to me in particular. It's just that the fire animation looked really good. Like, that's a cool shot right over there with the friggin' lightsaber or whatever over there battling friggin' fire. It's like kind of resembles like a Jedi battling a firebender in prison. Like, you gotta admit, that's a cool sentence I just said. But yeah, overall, it looks like a very entertaining show. Looks like it could be a cool anime, and might check out the other two seasons. Okay, moving forth, we finally have a new season of a show that I've actually seen before, and that is the trailer for the 12th season of Futurama. You guys might remember that Futurama came back last year for a brand new season on Hulu, and that did so well that a brand new season is coming forth this year. So let's take a look at this quick little trailer. Oh, just restarted itself again. Womp womp. Alright, move. Frankenstein episode. Okay, so that was the trailer for the brand new season of Futurama, which should be streaming on Hulu on July 29th. So, in just a couple weeks, you'll be able to watch new Futurama. I saw a few episodes of the new season of Futurama that came out last year, and I wasn't super impressed with it. It definitely felt a lot like modern Simpsons in a way where it's not bad. It definitely isn't awful, but a lot of that magic that made the first few seasons so special is kind of gone. Which, you think that after a decade of not making new episodes, there would be that spark again. Like, okay, we're back at the show again. We got a big break. We're coming back with new episode ideas. And it's just not there. It just wasn't there, and you just start to realize, well, why didn't they just stop at season 10? Why couldn't they just stop where they did and just end it with that perfect finale? But hopefully, this new season will give us more of what we have come to enjoy from Futurama, and the gags and clips that they showed within this trailer aren't bad, but none of them are really laugh out loud hilarious to me personally, but I'm sure they are to some people. But we're ultimately just gonna have to wait and see once this season finally comes out at the end of the month. But what do you guys think? All right, moving right along to our eighth trailer. This is both one of the big ones that was released this week, but at the same time not, because I remember when this show got announced, everyone was shitting on it. But now that this new trailer came out, nobody's been talking about it, at least in my circles. So let's dig into the trailer for the infamous Disney animated series Primos. Okay, so that was the trailer for Primos. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not the type of person who should be judging the racial quality of the show on if it exactly is racist to, say, Hispanic culture, but I'm simply here to judge the quality of the show itself, and it's fine. It kind of just, to me, just kind of seems like a ripoff of the Casa Grandes, where you have this Latino little girl, and she's forced to share an entire house with multiple with many of her cousins, with several of her cousins, and yeah, it doesn't really look that all appealing to me personally. Like, the art style, I'm sure that it will match the tone of the show perfectly fine, but I don't know, just kind of ugly, but not in the appealing way. It just kind of gross to me. And yeah, not a huge big fan of the character designs personally. I mean, they kind of look like they kind of look like a child trying to draw their Craig of the Creek OCs, if that makes any sense. But, overall, nothing about the show really seems to me that it's going to go anywhere. Like, I doubt that this is going to be the next Ghost of Molly McGee or even Kiff in terms of successful Disney animated shows. And I will admit that Disney has been killing it with their animated shows lately. Like the cartoons that have been premiering on Disney Channel have easily been the best of the three big uh, animation children's networks, because Nickelodeon is mainly just doing stuff they've already done before, and Cartoon Network barely releases a new show anymore. So easily Disney is kind of knocking them both out of the water by just releasing banger after banger after banger. But then last year they released Haley's on It, and this year they released the Zombies cartoon. And it looks like Primo's is going to be more in the lines of those shows and less like shows like, say, Kiff or The Ghost of Molly McGee. And I definitely wouldn't put this show in the same league as Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur or The Owl House or even Amphibia. But yeah, Primo's, I don't see this becoming a big hit like any of those shows, to be honest. It I'd be surprised if it gets more than one season. But hey, I'm probably going to be eating my own words in the future. Maybe this show will become a major hit like the Casagrandes, and it'll even get its own movie several years after it got canceled. Who knows? But either way, it doesn't look all that interesting to me. Alright, we got the penultimate trailer after watching so many of them, and that is to a movie that I've already seen before, but we'll get more on that after we watch it. It's the trailer for Saving Bikini Bottom, the Sandy Cheeks movie. Let's just dive right into it. Sorry, I thought I saw something. Okay, so that was the trailer for Saving Bikini Bottom, the Sandy Cheeks movie, which should be streaming on Netflix on when did it say? When did it say? August 2nd. So in less than a month, you'll be able to watch this movie legally. Because, as I'm sure most of you know, back in February, I believe so, either February or March, somebody leaked the entire movie on Twitter. And either Viacom or Netflix took it down, but but and they were someone was still able to re-upload it to Reddit and to Facebook and to Vimeo and all over the internet. And so several people have already watched this movie. Several normal people, and not just animation industry people. And many people do not really like it. Like, I did a whole Toon Talk episode on it, and I basically reached the conclusion that it's not an awful movie. It's just a very fine film. It's very fine. I would definitely say that it is better than Sponge on the Run, but it's nowhere near the quality levels of the first movie or even Sponge Out of Water. It is a very middle of the road film, which is very disappointing because of how much I like the SpongeBob franchise. And I and I feel like once this movie officially gets released, we're gonna get even more of those reviews on how SpongeBob is not as good as it used to be, yada 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 yada. And I mentioned earlier in this video that I do enjoy recent SpongeBob, or at least some of it. And I do believe that SpongeBob has the capability to create good products now without the help of its creator. But I don't think that this new movie is one of them. And it wasn't exactly what I wanted for a Sandy Cheeks movie, and it didn't have to be what I wanted. It just had to be good, and it just wasn't really good to me. Maybe I should give the movie a rewatch once it officially gets released on Netflix, but from what I remember watching it, it just wasn't very entertaining. I didn't like what they did with SpongeBob's character. Sandy's arc I felt was handled better in the musical, and the rest of the SpongeBob cast were just there without much to do. And Wanda Sykes was very awkward in the movie. It was just not a good SpongeBob movie to me. But maybe that opinion will change once I rewatch it. Who knows? Well, what do you guys think of the movie? And if you haven't seen it, are you guys going to check it out once it comes out? And finally, our very final trailer of the day